All right, I got a scenario for you guys.
Okay.
I saw it on Twitter today.
Okay.
I'm going to change the monetary value up a little bit because I think
All right.
it comes in on the high side. You get $1 million cash in your hand right now, but this is the catch.
Okay.
A snail follows you around for the rest of your life. Just a regular snail.
Okay.
And if the snail touches you, you instantly die like a super, super painful, terrible death.
Like your insides like burn up?
Yeah. You can never kill the snail. It knows your location at all times, 24/7. It always knows where you are, and its only purpose on this earth is to find you.
And it'll live for as long as you live, I'm
Yes.
assuming. Okay.
This is an easy yes. I've already gamed this out in my head.
No, Andrew.
This is a tough one for me. Usually will you turn my headphones up a little bit?
Yeah, I can do that for you.
Thank you. Because the thing about snails is they always just show up. Like you never really see a snail.
you
in
wouldn't-
Do I know
motion.
what, like, can I distinguish this snail from other snails?
I think
That's an interesting question. I would say
it's going to be the only snail following you around. Like it's probably the only snail you'll
But
see.
like,
more
if
than
I
once in
like
your
go to
life.
the beach and there's like 10 snails, like, am I sitting there? Where,
Well,
like,
you
is
have to
this
assume-
Well,
one of
have
them?
to
that's a risk
assume-
you'd have to. Well,
Yeah.
first of all, there's no snails on the beach because sand would
beach
kill a snail.
snails.
I thought snails would be.
This
I
is
thought
like a
the beach is
regular snail. No,
Where do you find snails then?
in like gardens.
Okay, I'm good with. I mean, this is. Can the snail die from natural causes?
No, the snail lives. The snail lives forever.
But the snail will
But it's still a
gonna
snail.
follow
Okay,
you
all right.
around.
So I've decided how I would go about this already.
Okay.
So if I go hop on a plane, like show up an hour before the flight, bang, get right on there, and go ahead and fly somewhere, the snail is obviously not going to meet me at the plane. It's not fast enough. Wait, I can establish that already. So I'm gonna go fly like to Europe, take my $1 million and go on a nice vacation. And by the time the snail has maybe made it to like the bottom of the Atlantic halfway, it's gonna be, I don't know, 2 years maybe. Snails don't move fast. They gotta stop to sleep and eat.
Can you look up the?
Yes, I already know it.
Okay, what is it? Well, the average speed of a snail.
Yeah.
Just so everybody knows.
Is like 0.003 miles an hour. So I have another stat for you. It would take a snail, the average snail, it would take a snail 197 years to travel 5,000 miles.
So I just have to move.
But let me preface you with a counterpoint, because I don't disagree that your strategy could work.
Yeah.
And I think, honestly, I would almost be comfortable staying home. I don't think this snail would get me. You know what I mean? Because
Like just
all of a sudden,
be
if
in
you're
your
just
bedroom, you're like, just don't sleep for more than 4 hours.
no, see, you would have to be aware. Oh, what's going
It's
on
fine.
there? You would have to be you'd have to be aware of like your bedroom areas. But what if I was a snail? This is what I would do. I would attach myself to like your car or something, because then you already brought the snail to the airport. Now all the snail has to do is it doesn't even have to get to you. It has to get to the plane once you stop at the airport. And you've got TSA before the plane takes off. So the snail then has to get to the plane. It could stay on the plane to Europe. And now the snail is following you and you don't even know that's on your scent. So your guard drops. You're thinking, I don't have to run away from the snail
We just
anymore.
talked about how fast it moves. If I dodge it getting out of the car, it's never making it to the plane.
How do you know?
Is it going to hitch a ride with TSA?
Maybe it hops on one of the carts that they bring the luggage to the plane. See, I'm just saying.
But
in a
if you
theoretical,
I would
check
rather
your
your car,
I would rather
before you leave for the airport. If you check your car before you go and you see there's no snail
Yeah,
there,
but what if in the amount of time that
Can
it
I,
takes you to
like,
check your
move the
car?
snail with
no,
a
you can't
stick,
touch
like-
the snail. You can't touch the snail.
Okay, I'll call you. Be like, can you get this snail off my car?
I'd be like, hell no, because if you die, I get your $1 million.
I'll give you $1,000.
that's not how that works.
Yes, it
Whoa,
is,
how do
because
you
you
get
get
the
the
money?
you get the $1 million cash in your hand up
Are
front.
are you assuming that you are the sole
Yeah, what?
benefactor of Alex's estate
No,
in
I
the
would just
event of
take
his death?
No, I would just take the money.
The snail's not gonna kill me. We just talked about how slow it is.
Okay. But
I just don't understand how you get Alex's money.
Because he has the $1 million cash.
I'd put it in the bank.
It's
before.
cash.
How are you gonna put it in the bank? What if you get audited?
I'll pay taxes on it. That's fine. It's still a lot of money.
Yeah, okay, but
for a very small income.
Okay, but what if you
I
get
might
audited?
do this for like $100,000.
What if you get audited and they're like, where's this money coming from? We see it didn't come from your small business. What are you gonna say? Like, oh, somebody gave it to me to run away from a snail for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
They're not gonna believe you. They're going to assume you're doing something
I don't
shady.
know.
Next thing you know, you end up in jail. And if there's one place the snail is going to get you, it's inside a fucking jail cell. Because then you're really limited to your movements.
That's an excellent point. But I do think...
So you keep the $1 million probably under your bed or like somewhere. And I just take it when you die. And nobody knows it even exists. The $1 million.
I'm putting it in a safe, right? And it's going to be one of those fingerprint ones. And I'm making it so that everybody's fingerprint works but yours.
Okay, well then I would simply have somebody else open it, and then I'd have the snail kill that person.
Then it'd be their
too.
money. I just want to make sure that you don't
Wait,
get it at this
if
point.
does the snail
No.
curse transfer with the money?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
I'm trading
Wait.
money for Bitcoin.
Okay, so now we're getting to some Twilight Zone thing. Is it
Interesting.
now that is it that the snail,
Investments.
if you buy a candy bar and you give like
No.
the person $5
It's your last $5. Does the snail now follow them? No,
or just like any
the snail and you,
bill.
the snail and you have a Harry Potter Voldemort type connection going on. Like,
Occlumency.
it has to kill you. Its only purpose on
It's a
this
word
earth
from
is
Harry
to kill
Potter.
you.
This is just ridiculous.
I agree that I would do it, but I think that I would stay in my own home.
If
I don't
you
know.
did it,
Snails
I
are
would
so
I would
quiet,
bring
though.
the snail to you and make sure it kills you so I can take the money from you.
Well, then I could do the same thing to you. Then the snail wouldn't even have to worry about
Well, then I
getting on
guess
a
neither
plane.
of us can do it.
But you could.
This is a theoretical in which, all right, new theoretical.
If the-
you're not like one, it's only one of us is involved in this. Like we're not. No, you know what I mean.
I would do it if everybody in the world knew, I would still do it. I don't think there's any way I'm gonna get touched by a snail.
No, I agree. That
I've
it's
never
worth
been
it.
touched by a snail before.
I've touched a snail.
Yeah, but you've never. Been
I
touched
actually
by a
don't
snail.
think that's true. I think that I've had like a slug maybe on me before,
Right.
and I think that's just a snail without a shell.
You guys haven't like eaten a snail before?
Escargot, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
But that's
I guess
not a
that's
snail
true, but
ending
that's
up on
different.
you.
Yeah, it's like cooked. It's like you don't eat raw chicken.
I don't think a snail's ever creeped up on anybody.
So I did have a theory.
No, but that's the thing.
No,
they
see, I
kind
think
of
they
do.
I'm kind of shocked by the.
And they crawl
The,
through the grass too. Like you'd never be able to sit in grass again, because you don't know where that snail is.
Moving to Europe, I think, is the best.
Yeah,
like
you'd
I
have to
feel
move.
like you.
No,
get
you just
pretty
have to
lucky in
stay
that
there
sense.
long enough that the
Yeah.
snail can't really make it bad.
Yeah, I think that'd be. I think you'd be in pretty
I
good
think
shape.
your problem is that
You just have
to
to
my
travel
point
enough
early
that he'll
that
never
the
catch up to
snail
you.
would never even make it there. I think if I was the snail, I would actually use your trip. You would go to Europe and you'd come back, even if it was 10
This
years
is the
later.
smartest snail of all time.
Yeah, no, the snail's got, yeah. Even if it was 10 years later, you'd come back thinking like that snail's probably in the middle of the ocean. I'm never gonna see this snail again in my life. And if I was that snail, I would have just like started a home underneath your pillow. And the second you got home, just blah!
right.
But I have $1 million. Like I'll move somewhere else. I'll have more than one home.
If I was the snail, though, he knows where you are at all times. He's got wall hacks. I would simply just wait until you returned to one. Like, I would get to one spot, and then I would wait until you showed back up there.
But it's like even if we were in the same room, it's still gonna take him so long.
Okay, but all I'm
Right.
saying,
And
all I'm saying is if you don't know where this snail is, in theory, at any second, at any time, you could just drop into one of the most painful deaths of all time.
This snail's best shot is that I'm stoked that I got $1 million and got blackout before I got on the plane to Europe.
And you probably would.
I probably would. So that's like his prime.
And then the snail kills you.
He's got like one good shot, and that's about it.
I think I would do it. I think you just have to I think I would with my $1 million, I would hire a security team that's not allowed to kill the snail, but they're on like snail watch 24/7, 365.
You'd burn through that
That'd
million
be a-
bucks.
I would,
really
I
quick,
would,
though.
I would,
That'd be.
I would, you know, I would set
have to
aside like maybe 20,000 for like the first year of paying that security team. Maybe more than that. Maybe 100,000.
figure out the snail.
Yeah, I was
Right,
gonna say only
$100,000.
$20,000
Yeah.
for a 24-hour security.
Maybe
team.
$100,000.
This is
for
snail
security.
security. We're not.
Yeah, I don't
yeah.
need the
But
highest
they
end
still,
of security.
but they
they're-
still
they're
need to be
present,
there all the time. You're just gonna hire a homeless guy?
pretty much.
Okay.
room and board.
But the thing is, you have to make sure the homeless guy, because you can't be responsible for the snail being killed.
What if? Nah, I guess the snail can't like communicate to other people. Because if that's the case, then the
unless you can
snail would
speak
Have you
Definitely.
heard about Matthew's snail? It's superhuman.
right. So
Yeah.
like,
What about that movie Snails? Isn't that a Disney or a Pixar movie or something?
Turbo?
Like that? Turbo.
But I
That's a
think
small
that-
Oh, if
snail.
it's
but I think-
turbo,
Oh.
you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
you're
that's
dead.
a fast snail.
Yeah.
But I think I think the Turbo universe, like everybody's a snail. Like it's not just
Yeah. Well, there's
humans and
multiple. Yeah.
snails.
There's multiple universes.
Yeah, but I'm just if Turbo traveled to this multiverse, then yeah, I guess you're in trouble.
Yeah.
But but you don't really have to worry about that.
I'm saying all of these things, saying that I would do it, but I would do it. I
For
mean,
the
yeah, you
guy
could
that's
just be a
saying he would do
nomad.
it, you came up with more reasons than anybody.
because I
not
have
do
to
it.
make sure
Yeah.
I'm prepared to live my
you gotta
life.
think of every scenario.
Because I don't want to be sitting there all the time thinking like, fuck, I could die right now. I don't know where this snail is. I want somebody that has eyes on the snail. That's what I would do. I would hire somebody to have eyes on the snail at all times. That's what I would do.
I'd hire somebody else to put a GPS tracker on the snail, just like strap it on
Talking
there.
to the
with
mic, Alex.
Oh, sorry.
No problem.
I would hire somebody else to just put a GPS tracker on the snail, just strap it on
That's
there
not a
with a Ziploc.
stipulation.
Yeah, that could
It's
be
not a
good.
stipulation.
That's better than I think hiring someone to watch the snail at all times
Uh-huh.
because I think that it's just a natural thing that humans do that when they're around an animal or something for a long time they become attached to it. So I think that if you hire someone to be with the snail all the time,
They're
eventually
gonna
they
turn on
will.
it, yeah.
But they're
And you can't tell them about the $1 million.
No, because
You gotta
they're-
have
can't
an
tell 'em about the
alibi.
$1 million bucks.
because their job isn't to kill this. They can be best friends with the snail. That's
yeah,
fine.
but what if they like
yeah, but
it
then they
so
become,
much?
they become empathetic to the snail.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, I
The
want to
snail's
see
only-
this snail succeed.
I
in its
think
you can
one
yeah,
life.
I
become
think
if you
telling
can become
anybody about the
empathetic
snail
to a
is bad.
if you can
Yeah,
become
you can.
empathetic to a snail though, you're telling me that you would be okay with killing a human?
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, potentially.
You ever seen PETA?
Sure, something like that.
Yeah. PETA might like help, like they might as a collective group help the snail. Be like, this is what the snail wants. Like
The
We have-
pro snail
yeah.
party. I could see that. I think
that's 100% a real
PSP?
thing too. Yeah.